Welcome back, and on my lap I am holding the Ibanez 2026 RG653DX. I have had the huge slice of fortune of being at Henning Pauli's house while these guitars were here for him to make a couple of preview videos. So I've snuck in, and Leslie has happily agreed to switch for me for these videos. So I'm going to go on a very quick whistle-stop tour of the guitars that I can get my hands on. You guys, if you've watched my channel before, you know I'm not really a heavy rock or metal sort of a person, so the RG is not really my ballpark. But let's see what we can do. Now this is a prestige model. Like I said, it's the RG653DX, and I have a very short spec sheet here in front of me so I can tell you guys what we've got going on here. This is indeed the RG653DX model, so hopefully that means something to some of you watching this. To me it means RG and it's blue, and that'll be about it. And in terms of specs, we've got a Super Wizard HP 5-piece neck, which is going to be maple and walnut. And I'm going to turn the guitar over at Henning's place, which is a bit of a crime, but you can see there that we've got maple, walnut, maple, walnut, maple on the neck. And when it comes to the fingerboard here, we're going to have 24 frets because this is an Ibanez RG guitar. The fretboard is going to be bound rosewood, acrylic and abalone block inlays, and the frets themselves are going to be jumbos. In terms of pickups here, we have DiMarzio's Air Norton in the neck and a Tone Zone in the bridge. Both humbucking pickups, obviously. We've got an edge tremolo bridge going on here, which is going to be kind of one of your locking nut sort of things, Ibanez's version of a Floyd Rose, if you will. This is something which I've always had issues with, and you didn't see it, but I spent about 10 minutes trying to tune this guitar before we started the video, hopefully successfully, but you'll hear that in a second. Otherwise, we've got black hardware. It comes with a nice chunky hard shell case, which is behind me in the chair right now, and we actually have a dedicated case cam just to show you that, but it's an Ibanez hard case, does the job and does it very, very well indeed. And they recommend a gig bag for it as well if you're interested in doing that. The IGB724BK would be the gig bag that they recommend. Now, that's the specs that I've got here. That's all I can tell you for now. So the other thing that we're going to have to do is hear how this guitar sounds. Now, for me, as not someone who really does sort of RG sort of music that much, I'm going to be down on the slightly lower gain end of the spectrum, I guess, for this video. But we'll go through kind of most of the sounds that I would tend to make in my videos, starting clean and kind of edging up more towards heavy stuff and even some metal at the end as well. Now, down on the floor in front of me, I've got Henning's Fractal FM9. There's a bunch of different sounds in that, and I'll work my way through a couple of those. We've got a 5-way selector switch on this guitar, so we're going to have access to the neck and the bridge humbucker, and also some split in between tones too. No extra switches or anything like that on this guitar, which makes it nice and simple for an Ibanez. So let's hear what we've got just on the clean sound with the bridge humbucker. I got nothing. Now I have. That being a clean sound, it wasn't exactly a clean sound, so I'm going to roll the volume off a bit and let's get it nice and spanky and clean if we can. Yeah, on this preset, this guitar was not built to do clean with that bridge humbucker, but it's a nice, really sort of sparkly, spanky clean tone when you get the volume rolled all the way back to about 1 or 2. And moving to the first in-between sound. That's a nice, almost sort of modern Hendrixy sort of a sound. I'm going to skip the middle sound for a second and go to the other split coil. Now let's go back to the middle and hear what that sounds like, nice and clean. I have to wind back that volume quite far to get it going clean. Very gentle with that edge tremolo to get that being kind of more like a gentle wobble, like something you do on an offset and not a dive bomb like this. Doesn't work for that kind of thing. Let's hear that neck humbucker though, doing the same thing. quite nice. You've got to roll the volume way down, but with this specific preset on the FM9, it does that clean thing. And these are nice, modern sounding clean pickups. You could probably even do funk with them if you did the sort of in-between thing. Bit too much reverb for that, but it does do the job. So for clean tones, you're going to be sorted for pretty much everything. And that's always something I notice when I hit up an RG. It's like, I feel like it wants to just do the rock and metal stuff, but dial it back a bit and go to the in-between coil mode settings, and you actually get some really nice clean tones too. Let's go to the FM9 and try and dial up a little bit of crunch. I'm going to the HBE C45. Don't really know what that stands for, but with the volume rolled back, we get this on the bridge humbucker, which is quite a nice, if slightly pushed, classic rock tone. Let's roll back the tone control a bit. Interesting. Let's go to the in-between tones with that sort of classic rock sort of crunch going on. Quite like that. I'm going to roll the tone off even more. Coffee is here. Thank you very much, Henning.
On the brand new Tonex cap, there you go.
Do you not want to put a coaster down or something?
Sure.
That's rock and roll. It does do classic rock if you really wind it back. Have you got any like edge of breakup settings on this without getting really sort of technical?
Oh no.
Or with less reverb?
Oh.
Is this something that Bernd Kilt's program for you?
Did that.
Ah, okay, so we won't bother with that.
You could go through the 400 presets and find something.
No, it's okay. If only there was an easier way to go through presets and not have problems.
I mean, I could turn the reverb down, only that...
No, let's not fiddle with it. For now, for this video, it's good enough.
In the editor, super fast, because I work with the XFX3 every day, but not on the actual unit, so I'm not going to touch any of that.
No, let's not bother with that. Yeah, it does the classic rock thing, and for my sort of beloved indie rock tones, well, let's see what we get, again with the volume rolled way down. Even with that gentle palm muting, it just wants to go, which is fine, of course. It just works for that kind of thing really well. So for indie and classic rock stuff, for me, it's going to work, but this guitar really wants to do more than that. So let's give it a bit more than that. Let's wind up the volume, go to the bridge humbucker, and just see what we get. More beef. Bit less beef. Roll that tone knob back up. Yeah, it's perfect for that kind of thing. It just wants to go. Again, I would reduce the reverb if I could, but we can't do that for this video. The edge trem is going to keep things perfectly in tune if you want to dive bomb, if you want to do that kind of stuff, no problems whatsoever. The neck on this guitar for me is really interesting. I mean, it's a wizard neck, so you'll know what you're getting if you know your wizard necks. It's super thin, it's super flat. You've got this really flat fingerboard radius as well. And it just works for faster styles of playing, which I generally don't dabble in that much. So you've heard the hard rock stuff, you've heard the classic rock sort of stuff. Let's try something like pop punk, which I also spend quite a lot of time playing. Got a lot of reverb here, but let's see. Yeah, it's going to work for something like that as well. If you wanted to do leads, it would work really well for that also. And once again, if you've got an RG, you want to be doing metal. So let's try and find an even heavier preset here on the FM9. I'm going to press the 5150 steel, which presumably stands for stealth, but only steel fits here. Sounds a bit like this. This is an interesting sound, but let's see what I can do. It does that thing. Not that I do, but the guitar and the amp setting does that thing. I'm going to press the presets button on the FM9, and then I'm going to go to Henning's frankly ridiculous periphery setting here, which he's had for another guitar, which may or may not be featured at some point during this video shoot. But let's hear how that one sounds. Not that I can play anything in this sort of a setting. Let's do that again. I saw a beer do a riff like this one. It just doesn't work. It's just awful. The guitar is great, but what I'm doing with it is tantamount to a crime in many American states. The pickups are absolutely fantastic for this kind of thing. You can hear how much kind of definition is in them. They are wonderful for this sort of music. Unfortunately, I'm not the ideal guy to be bringing this sort of thing to you, at least in this context. So watch Henning's video with this guitar, because he'll be doing that kind of stuff as well. But I hope that this has been a useful first glance at the Ibanez RG653DX. If you'd like to find out any more information about it, well, check out the links in the description down there. And by the time that this is online, I'm guessing this guitar is going to be available for sale, or at least pre-order, so you can check out some links to some stores down there as well if you're interested. If you have any more questions about it, feel free to drop me a line down there as well, and I shall answer to the best of my ability. And check out the other Ibanez 2026 videos that I've done, because there should be some more on my channel too. But once again, Leslie, thank you for switching. Henning, thank you for inviting me. I've been Rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.